a seller thinks the only thing that they need to know is that bottom line. And that's a very important number, and it does go into it. But they also need to know how we're getting to the bottom line. And so I go through the marketing plan, and I also go through the contract, what the contract period is going to look like. Because if I don't tell them then, when they're calm, they're going to forget it during the way. They're going to forget it when we're in the contract period, and we're going to have dramas. And I like to maintain calm. So I go through all of that before I go through the market, before I go through the price. We get it listed, we start pushing, and basically I like to be aggressive with how I place the house on the market. The client gets to make the decisions, but I know that a buyer is going to look for the top 3 or 4. So that house needs to be the top 3 or 4 in order for it to get showings. I want to get 4 showings a month. Once we get 4 showings a month, I believe we're going to get a contract, because that's usually what I see. Right before I get a contract, I see 4 showings and different buyers, because it's come up to the level in the competition that we're at the top. And so when we're at the top, we're going to get those showings. When we get those showings, I'm going to get that feedback. I'm going to find out, are we really well competing, or are we off because of a price? Are we off because of something going on in a closet? I need to know that. And then I'll send that information to the client, and if we are off, we need to fix it, or we need to fix the price. And then once that happens, once the client has made their peace with reality, which sometimes takes a long time, and sometimes takes a short time, then they can make the right decision. We can get the home sold for a higher price if they make that decision faster, and then we go through the contract, and we close the house. And so basically it's about being competitive and really knowing the game.
Okay, so we have a house that was built in 1920, and which I do want to sell at some point, and I just debate like whether, you know, we should make all of the repairs that I feel like are important in selling, or if you could just lower the price and sell it as is.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on those two?
Well, if you're going to do as is, of course, it's going to give you the investment market. The investment market is most of the time they're looking for a number that would give them a 40% ROI. They want to get 40% of equity in that home at least in order for them to redo it and sell it. They're a little bit more comfortable if you got a 30% margin there with doing maybe a rental, but if you're not that far off of what it's actually worth, and that means after they fix it, then they're not going to be very interested in it. And another rule of thumb they're going to be looking for is they want a 1% for rental. So you have like an $80,000 house, they want to make sure that one is actually worth $800 per month in order to purchase it. So most of the time, if the repairs cost, so it comes down to like an equation in your head, you know. So if you are there already, where you are within the 40% left after they fix it, then yeah, you're golden, you can sell it. If you're not there, then you're not golden yet. And so the price is probably going to go down to around that point in order to get sold. Now, if you put money into it, a lot of times it doesn't take as much as it seems, and you can get, you can raise what you're comparing to, and you can make a lot more money off of just getting it ready in the beginning and having it ready for sale and putting it on the market. As long as you don't owe a lot and have a lot of carrying costs as well. So if you always look at the numbers and figure out, okay, in this column, this is the redo, this is the carrying cost for whatever the average days of market is, and this is what the bottom line would be over here. And then over here, you look, this is what an investor is going to look at for an as-is transaction. And I'm here, I'll have less days in the market, less carrying costs. What is my bottom line there? So you compare the two bottom lines and you have a clear answer. I think numbers always speak. Other questions?
Just right quick, you made me think of something. Are there very many people here in Lawton that flip houses? I mean, you watch all the dramatic stuff you see on TV and all the, you know, that they make.
We actually have 3 strong markets right now. You have the investment market, you have the buying and selling and the rental market, and then you have the resale market. So we have a lot of people who flip houses still.
Really?
It's very interesting, and we have a
Banking?
lot of people
I mean,
who,
are they doing pretty well?
yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid, it's a solid thing here still. I'm seeing it all the time, and people call up, well, I just want to see what this price is, and it's another one of them. In fact, we've had people from Las Vegas, California, and all sorts of places who invest here because it's one of the strongest markets. I have a guy who called up from California, and he said he was comparing the markets across the country, and us and one in like Wisconsin were the best ones that he could find for doing the redos at this time. And that's because our price points are so low.
That's what I was saying. You see it on TV, and they got
Yeah.
like, there's a house in Vegas that'd be like 120,000 here, and 550,000. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You can buy a house here for $6,000 to $9,000, and you can redo that and turn that into an investment home that you rent out. You can buy one in Fields and Dunning for $25,000 to $30,000, and depending on the specifications of it, you can make some pretty sizable money. I know there's one right now that's for sale at like $18,000. Now that one's going to take a lot of work, so I wouldn't recommend that particular one.
Yeah.
But that's in Fields and Dunning, which has historically been one of the places that the flip people sort of look for, because those, you look at the historical sales there, you look at the historical rentals there, and you can see this one is solid. Lee West is another one a lot of people like. There's various neighborhoods that have historically always been strong. And so you wait for those to come up bank and you buy those low. And as I've heard a lot of people who say that they've made good money, and they said it's always in the purchase. The money that you're going to make in the end is always in how you purchase it in the beginning.
Okay, thank you.
You used to buy a house in Fields and Dunning for $18,000. When you'd be tempted to tear it down and build new.
Yeah, that one's probably what you should do there.
It's probably that's probably less than what the lot's worth.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to pay to clear it off.
You would. That one, I would say, is one that you would want to clear off and do a redo or just a new house there. And it's because it has a lot of issues from the brick paving in and stuff. But yeah, that one's probably what you would do that one.
You don't see that happen very much.
Yeah, that one I've been watching because it's on my street, and so I've been like, somebody's got to get this one.
What's the size of the lot?
I think it's a 75 by 150, but I'm not 100%. Any other questions? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.